Hey there, VCE HHD students. My name is Andy. I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're going to look at the purpose and characteristic of different types of aid. Before we dive into this video, in a short couple of days, I'm running a session online about preparing for extended response questions in VCE HHD. So if you're studying Unit 3 and 4 this year, hopefully you know that there'll be an 8 to 10 mark question, an extended response question at the end of your exam. And so these questions are typically the most challenging and lowest scoring for students. So this session that's running on August 26th from 5 till 6:15 p.m. online is designed to help you to respond effectively to these questions and give you an edge over other students. And so if you head to the link up here and register, you'll get sent 2 practice extended response questions to complete prior to the session. During this session, I'll go through some information about how to approach these types of questions, and you'll get a PDF document with advice and tips, as well as sample marking guides. And I'll also go through the 2 practice extended response questions that you hopefully will have attempted by then and give you some sample answers to those and give you a sense of how you can approach these questions in the exam to hopefully help you to maximize your score. You'll also receive 5 additional questions after the session, so you can continue practicing what we learn in the session and put that into practice in the lead up to the exam at the end of the year. So as I said, if you head to either our website or this link up here, you'll be able to book a spot for that session. Okay, so this video, we're going to look at the purpose and characteristics of the different types of aid. So we're going to look at emergency aid, bilateral aid, and multilateral aid. So for each of these types of aid, I think it's important to know a description, obviously the purpose, because that's mentioned in the key knowledge point. And it's good to know an example, because that will obviously help you if you need to provide an example in an answer, or if you have to look at, for example, a case study and try to identify what type of aid is in the case study. And then you might be asked to describe it or link it to something like health and well-being or human development. So when we're talking about emergency aid, it's sometimes referred to humanitarian aid as well. This is rapid or immediate assistance given to people or countries that are in distress, okay? And it's used to relieve suffering during and after emergencies such as conflict, okay, and natural disasters. And so this is often what you'll see on the news after there might have been, say, a big natural disaster in a country, and often you'll see organizations, maybe like the Red Cross, or countries like Australia, that are loading up planes and sending over, okay, emergency aid. So it's often things like medical supplies or shelter or clean water or food. And you can see that the purpose is to help keep people alive and provide short-term assistance. And so it's important to note there that short-term assistance, okay, it's not designed, okay, to go on and on for months and months and months. It's really just in that short period of time after the emergency. There's other types of aid that can come in and hopefully help in the long term if that's required. So an example of emergency aid might be the Australian government providing food and medical supplies following an earthquake in a country such as New Zealand. And so it's good to think about some different types of natural disasters, such as like floods or earthquakes or tsunamis, and think about, okay, how emergency aid might be provided by a government or an organization in those circumstances. The next type is bilateral aid. So this is aid that one government, okay, provides to the government of another country. So that could be the Australian government might be providing aid, say, to the Indonesian government, and you can see the example down there. That could be to build schools and train teachers. So the idea or the purpose behind this type of aid is to help reduce poverty and contribute to sustainable development. So unlike emergency aid, this is often more long-term, okay, development assistance. So it's where a country, such as the Australian government, okay, might set up a program in partnership with, say, the Indonesian government to help do things like build schools or build wells, or it might be to set up, say, health centers. And so hopefully that will help, okay, the people in the country where the aid is being delivered to improve their levels of health and well-being and human development. And often it is to help them move out of poverty and try to increase their standard of living. So you might not be aware that I'm running 3 HHD exam revision lectures this year for the organisation ACED. And so they're coming up shortly later this term and across the September break. And so in these sessions, I'll be going through exam strategies and advice and covering the key content and skills that you need to know for the exam. So often it's a good idea to hear from somebody different than your teacher in the lead up to the exam. It can often help, okay, really consolidate and help those concepts and key skills, okay, click in your mind. We'll be going through some sample past exam questions and how to approach these. So if you head to the website here, book.acedvce.com, you can book a place. And if you combine health with other subjects such as English or biology biology. There's 7 other subjects available. You can save up to 20% with bundle bookings. You'll also get a set of notes that are posted to your home with free shipping, and you can see the 3 dates and times that are available here for HHD, all running online, so you can join from anywhere in the state. Okay, the last type of aid is multilateral aid. And so this is aid that's provided through an international organization. So that might be the World Bank, United Nations, or the World Health Organization. And so often what happens is that many countries provide donations to these organizations so that they can then provide this type of aid. So it's often on quite a large scale. So it might be across multiple countries or a big region within a country. And so the purpose is that's often to address large scale issues that perhaps individual countries might be unable to address on their own. So providing donations to a large international organization can then help that international organization to go about addressing these issues. And so that obviously then can help to promote health and well-being and human development. And so an example there is the World Food Programme. So you might have heard, okay, that there's a lot of conflict, okay, in Sudan at the moment, and there's people experiencing famine. So the World Food Programme is providing food assistance to a large number of people, okay, experiencing famine in Sudan. And so it's good to know, okay, a couple of those organizations that are mentioned there in the description, because sometimes that's the giveaway, okay, in a case study that it's this type of aid that's being delivered when it's one of those large international organizations. So just keep that in mind. Okay, hopefully you found that video useful. A reminder, if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to these videos in the bottom of the corner of the video there. There'll be new ones coming out each week in the lead up to the exam. You'll also see there our social media links if you'd like to follow us and get alerts to our videos and other opportunities. Also an email if you'd like to get in touch. And if you're a Unit 3 and 4 student, if you head to our website, we're sending out our next free student newsletter soon with some resources for Unit 4 and help you prepare for the end of your exam. Okay, hopefully you found that video useful and we'll be in touch. Thanks so much.